The pitch that perplexes is our salute to the start of the baseball season this weekend. Here's a little quiz. Which active Major League pitcher has won the most games? Jack Morris, Dwight Gooden, or Roger Clemens? Which player put in the most years in the big leagues? Lou Gehrig, Cal Ripken, or Pete Rose? The answer to each of the above is none of the above. The answer to both questions is Charlie Huff.
It's hard to do. Not too many people in the world know how to teach it. Who can tell you how to throw a knuckleball? What it feels like to throw a knuckleball?
It darts and it dances, and nobody in the ballpark knows what it'll do on the way to the plate, including the guy who throws it. It is baseball's most tantalizing pitch, the knuckleball.
The whole idea of a knuckleball is to throw a ball that doesn't spin. Goes up there, dead.
That's Hoyt Wilhelm, the dean of the knuckleball pitchers, the first of that small band of practitioners to make it to baseball's Hall of Fame. And this is one of his protégés, Charles Oliver Huff of the Florida Marlins.
My second year that I threw a knuckleball, I got to play with Hoyt and changed the grip, changed my delivery a little bit, copied some of the things he did.
It's not a knuckleball in the sense of the word. It's actually a fingertip
The
ball.
year
Really
was
the way I throw it.
1970. Wilhelm was at the end of a remarkable career. Charlie Huff was a young pitcher with a sore arm and not much hope for a bright future.
But it was tremendous for me because I had no clue what I was doing. I could throw a decent knuckleball, but I had no idea how to pitch with it, and he taught me how to pitch with it.
Flexor, left leg forward.
Knee, flexor, left leg.
And for a quarter of a century, Charlie Huff has been the most durable pitcher in baseball. This spring marks his 25th season in the big leagues.
If I didn't have these real long legs, it would be easy.
He is 46 years old.
It's like a childhood dream to ever get to play a game in the big leagues, and I was one of those borderline prospect type guys and got lucky, came up with a pitch that very few people can throw, and I still really can't believe it that I've played this long.
The traffic lights, they turn blue tomorrow.
Take a look around the Florida clubhouse to see how long it's been.
The tiny island says,
How young do your teammates look to you, Charlie?
They're much closer to my kids' age than my age. I relate more with the staff ages, the manager and our coaches. And I'm about 10 years older than our general manager, so I tend to relate more to that era guy than the guy today. But being around these guys keeps you young.
Yeah, you can lose them, though, easy. Watch. You can lose the guys easy.
Both Charlie Huff and Hoyt Wilhelm seem to have tapped into Ponce de Leon's fountain. Wilhelm, now 70 years old, is a minor league pitching coach for the Yankees. He pitched in more than 1,000 games before he was done, a major league record. And he was still pitching until 1 month shy of his 49th birthday, he was released by his 9th big league team. People were always giving up on him, a fact not lost in his message to today's prospects.
But hey, just because this organization's given up on you, it's not 100% sure. I mean, nobody can be 100% sure because I'm a living example. I was released off of a Class D club one time, which was the bottom rung in professional baseball. I was released off of that club, and they took me back in about 3 weeks, and I wound up pitching my way to the Hall of Fame.
And the pitch that got him there was the knuckleball. Why don't all pitchers throw the knuckleball?
I don't think anybody can really teach it. I mean, I can show a guy how I did it. I can show him how I did it. But like I said before, when you tell a guy to double his fingers up like that and try to throw that ball after he's thrown it all his life like that, it's just very difficult.
It is also against the grain. Baseball scouts are looking for the young pitcher with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, not a 60-mile-an-hour tantalizer.
So nobody's looking for a guy like me. Nobody goes out and looks for a trick pitch, a knuckleball pitcher. Many managers and organizations may think that it messes you up. When you throw it right, you've got an idea that I've started it in the strike zone. I started it where I want to. And then it's kind of out of your control. Unlike any other pitch, it just might do something different every time. And that's when it's really perfection.
And that's when even the great big league hitters would rather be anyplace else but the batter's box.
I mean, I've thrown them where the batter has swung and missed and hit them. They think it's a strike, they swing, whack, hit them in the chest. I remember a game in Cincinnati where I hit Pete Rose and Joe Morgan back-to-back on 2 strike pitches, hit them both in the head. And they didn't call it, but I'm sure both of them swung.
Those knucklers hit them both in the head, and Charlie Huff is certain, even today, that they both struck out. Pretty hard not to laugh in situations like that.
Not at the batter. Not at the batter. I have laughed with a few of my teammates. Yeah. Some of the games are fun. Playing a baseball game is pretty serious stuff. But there are times when plays happen that are just too much. I mean, you've just got to go ahead and laugh a little bit.
The Florida Marlins will pay Charlie Huff $1 million to be one of their starting pitchers this year. When he was pitching in Ogden or Santa Barbara or Albuquerque in the 60s, did he ever imagine in his wildest dreams that the knuckleball would make him a millionaire?
No. You always try. I mean, we had the same arguments, salary negotiations, fighting, hating the general manager, arguing back and forth. Usually nobody had agents at that time, especially in the minor leagues. You didn't have an agent. You just argued like crazy for what you were going to make. I mean, we were arguing about $100 a month or a couple $1,000 a year, and nobody cared. And there was never any media coverage of it. I mean, guys would walk out of spring training, that's it, I'm not playing baseball anymore until you give me that $100. Major league gag. Uh-huh. Ha! We were robbed. We're going to kill you guys today. Thrashing.